Hello and welcome everyone back to another video. Magic Cat to back in crypto video. Hope you guys do well, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a bullish video here in the Pulsechain ecosystem, followed by actually a very scary crash, guys. If you have seen my previous video that covered, following the Japan stock market crash and the recession fears, etc., etc., I've covered that and the reasons why it happened. But nonetheless, making this video as it is a super bullish reminder. How's Pulsechain doing? What can we expect from Pulsechain from here on out? I think from the prices of today, we can easily expect 100x this bull run, ladies and gentlemen, in 2025. Exciting times. Watch the whole video through to understand why and what is my main holdings, what are the main narratives within Pulsechain, and what's their latest updates as well. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Going to the crypto market today has been a crazy bounce back, showing you that all these fear about people dumping on the crypto market, even though the stock market crashed, is a whole different industry, was just a fearful sentiment that just faded away. Okay, because at the end of the day, guys, would you rather really invest in a stock market or in the crypto world? I'm gonna let you guys answer in the comments down below. Okay, but looking into Ethereum and Bitcoin today is up 8%. Let me update this. 12% correction. I just needed to refresh. And Ethereum up 14%. Absolutely amazing. So recovering back, Bitcoin is doing way better than Ethereum in terms of recovering. Looking at 61k, Ethereum is going up there as well, 2.6k, and of course Pulsechain is absolutely, because that's one thing that I need you guys to understand, is actually Pulsechain is almost physically linked to Ethereum, and of course Ethereum is linked to Bitcoin because of the liquidity bonding. That's thanks to Hart's law. Go look it up, that's your research. But looking at this, we have the 4 core tokens, ladies and gentlemen. Pulse 7.3%, Pulse X, INC, PHEX. They're amazing. We're going to talk more about them in this video as well. Fear index looking at 43, not bad at all. And of course, by the way, I wanted to look at actual Pulsechain. We can see the 24-hour volume is kicking up a bit, 13.1 million. The top gainers of today is, I'm going to disregard the ones with the low liquidity. You got Pika, the meme coin. Shout out to them. Absolutely. PLUSD doing really well at 1.4 million markup. We're going to look into them in a second as well. And then you have other tokens as well. PGC. Shout out to them. We're going to also speak about them this video, what I think about it, etc. But going back to it, by the way, just a reminder that of course we are in the Bitcoin season. Don't expect too much from the altcoins to rally up. I would say anywhere from September to October, that's where I am really expecting things to rally up, because I do believe, by the way, we are literally still on track with all the previous bull ones. Okay, I'm looking at this others crypto market cap, which is basically all the other cryptos aside from the top 10 in the coin market cap, and I think this is a really great indicator that shows you, obviously these lines are indicating the Bitcoin halvings, and then once you look at it, it's very consistent where the altcoin peak happens almost 300 to the exact day, 350 days after the Bitcoin halving. Tells us two things. Tells us, of course, we have to be patient. Tells us we do not have to expect the generational wealth, the crazy gains to happen in the same year of the Bitcoin halving. Okay, so of course Bitcoin halving happened in 2024. We can expect crazy gains to peak, and the peaks at 2025. Okay, and of course this is kind of my analysis that I've done. You guys can check it out. And then of course I'm looking at the second peak from peak 1 to peak 2. It seems like, or we can call it the end of the altcoin season. It would be around that 17th of November or / beginning of December 2025. But altcoin peak at April / ending of March. I think that would be the perfect time for Richard Hart to start rotating his sacrifice wallets. At the end of the day, I don't think we're gonna need that much from Richard Hart, to be honest with you. I think he will probably just do it towards the end and force another or force a altcoin season, kind of similar to what Avalanche did in when was it, 2021, I believe it was September 2021. If you guys didn't know about Avalanche, they basically did the same strategy that Richard Heart is doing. Kind of they've bought back a lot of their own tokens. I think they injected around 100 million, 150 million dollars, which is absolutely crazy. Now imagine that, but in Pulsechain, where the sacrifice wallets of 172,000 Ethereum, you can do the maths. Imagine Ethereum going to $7,000 this bull run, which by the way, we can easily say it will reach that. We're predicting 10 to 15,000. If it goes over 7,000, the sacrifice wallets that we have, that Richard Heart is holding, longing Ethereum, so he can rotate it into Pulsechain, is going to be worth over $1 billion. Yeah, absolutely crazy. That's the information asymmetry that I'm giving you guys in these videos. Okay, we are early, by the way. We are actually early. Take your time. Okay, don't rush anything. You have enough time for you to look into Pulsechain. Okay, what are the leverages of within Pulsechain, right? Of course, you have the 4 Richard Heart core tokens, the one that we're showing right here. They're doing actually really amazing, because actually, if you see here in PulseX, so far we've actually burnt 4.68% of PulseX, which is absolutely amazing. Because if we look into here, this is PulseX, by the way. WPLS is looking absolutely amazing, by the way. But if we look into WPLS/PulseX, if we look at this chart and then we change it from the USD value to the WPLS value, you can see that PulseX is absolutely crushing it. Crushing it, guys. Okay, this is thanks to the burn, by the way. Thanks to the burn, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. Pulsex is actually amazing. It's basically like the cake, the Uniswap token, right? But for Pulsechain, it's actually amazing. And of course, you have INC. I'm predicting it to reach around $200 this bull run, guys. Okay, $200 plus. Of course, a lot of people have way higher numbers. PHEX, guys, I've told you guys, combined PHEX and EHEX, I see around $1 worth of that, or maybe roughly around, PHEX can definitely easily, I would say, reach the, in my opinion, I could say it could reach all-time high, 50 cents. You got EHEX. The reason why I love EHEX, guys, and I believe I have a chart of it right here, is really literally due to the fact of this. Okay, the liquidity is super thin. Liquidity is a weight factor. Okay, you can think of it that way as well. Obviously, we need liquidity to actually go in and out of tokens, swap between token A and token B. But at the same time, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You have a thick liquidity. Now it also means that it's a cushioning effect, where even when there's going to be a lot of buy pressure, it will require even more capital for the price floor to rise up with it, because it's super thick liquidity. Okay, so the fact that we have super thin liquidity, it will require less buy pressure for the token price to appreciate, which is absolutely amazing. Okay, I did a calculation before, but that was, I would say that one's out of date, because now the liquidity is actually even worth less. So I think it will definitely cost way less. We're talking like, okay, 1.5 million to in buy pressure, net buy pressure, to get EHEX to do a 10x. That's crazy, guys. That's absolutely crazy. Look at this. 18K in volume did an 11.9% appreciation. Absolutely crazy. That's nothing in terms of 24-hour volume. And even look at this, from here to back to all-time high, not even all-time high, halfway through all-time high, which is, it was at 53 cents back in 2021, I believe, to 25 cents, right? The last time I set this up was 148x. Now if we correct it from the prices that we have today, look at that. That's a 227x, guys. Halfway through all-time high. And I've even seen like other people predict it to reach like 10 cents. You know what I mean? That would be a 91x. That's generational wealth, guys. This is maybe not generational wealth, but that's definitely, in my opinion, something like financial freedom. You know what I mean? You take that 91x, invest it in real world assets or real estate and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Generate passive income, put it into liquidity pools. Definitely, like if I would make a lot of gains like this, I would actually put it in the Pulsex farms. Okay, because Pulsex farms, in my opinion, is my most confident farm that I would ever want to be in. Okay, I would actually trust it with a lot of capital in the Pulsex farms, because it's very consistent APRs. Okay, you can make 80% APRs with pairing up with Pulse and a stable coin. You know what I mean? Very cool stuff. You know what I mean? You get paid in INC, a token that's a literal 100x token. So effectively, those APRs, if you held all the way till the peak, those APRs can be 100x times them if you play it smart. Okay, but obviously you want to play it safe. Do a little bit of both. You know what I mean? Take profits and then hold the rest of the INC. Even Andrew Tate, and I made a video on this, even Andrew Tate is in Pulsex farms. Yeah, he's holding around, I forgot if it's 200k or 150k worth of the Pulse and Pulsex V1 farm. I made a video on it. Go check it out. And he's holding every single INC over there. So yeah, they're just obviously not vocal about it because they understand that they don't want to seem like they're shilling scam, right? A lot of people are kind of afraid of that with Richard Hart. We're just going to wait till the SEC case is officially won. Speaking of the SEC case, one of the news I wanted to share is that yesterday or before yesterday, Ripple finally has officially beat the SEC. But here you can see looming appeal means celebration may be premature. The reason being is just because they were just slapped with a fine, but thankfully it's, you know, nowhere near what the SEC asked for. I think yeah, it was 125. There you go. The final figure is 125 million, is much closer to Ripple's ask than what the SEC requested. But the only issue was that, yeah, there you go. So the judge ordered the company to refrain from further violations of security laws. In her decision, she points to Ripple's willingness to push the boundaries, right? But she doesn't define what they are, of the law after the SEC filed its initial lawsuit, arguing that there's a likelihood of the company will eventually, if not has already, crossed the line. Okay? So yeah, she declined to specifically name whether and how Ripple had continued to violate security laws. The question of when digital token sales constitute securities offering will remain open. That points to continued guardrails around the conduct in the market, and also the fact that this remains an unsettled area of the law. Okay, that's unfortunate. So, you know what I mean, after this lawsuit, we still have uncertainty about, you know, the laws regarding, you know, cryptos, whether, you know, it's kind of a gray area actually, whether it's a security or if it's you know, commodity, etc, etc. So but it's still a nice win. We've seen Ripple, you know, I think yesterday every token was absolutely like -5% plus. Ripple was just the only one that was plus 20%. Well done to Ripple, and of course to anyone who's holding it. This is a really good win for us in the crypto world, guys. This is what I always say: Bitcoin goes up, it's a win-win for everyone, because at the end of the day, we're all on the same boat, which is crypto. Okay, we're all linked somehow, indirectly or directly, through liquidity bonding, through the obviously just sentiments. So yeah, this is a huge win for us. And yeah, moving on, going back to it, I just wanted to show you guys as well the Bitcoin dominance. Okay, and I've talked to this about this before, where I said before we expect it to go farther down, right, which is an indication of the altcoin season. You can see here, which by the way, I think it's probably gonna reach 40% dominance. I don't think it's gonna go any lower than that. It's kind of been doing the same thing the past two bull runs, really, disregarding the outliers, where it's just a very short peak here. I would say, you know, don't worry if you keep seeing this graph going up. It's absolutely fine, because at the end of the day, we do need Bitcoin to be the first mover, to be the first winner. Ethereum will follow suit, etc, etc, and that's how you get the retailers to really come in to shop around more to see what other altcoins are there, so they can make more X's. So for an alt season to start, you need the retailers to have made their little gains, right, that they would be very happy with, right, which is like a 2 to a 10x. You know what I mean? That's basically what Bitcoin and Ethereum will do between that, you know, 2 to a 10x, whatever it is. And then after that, you're gonna be like, you know what, that feels great, I want to shop around. What else is there? You know what I mean? They're going to look into the meme coins within Ethereum. They're going to look into layer 1 solutions, layer 2 solutions, etc. Of course, Solana does count, even though it's a non-EVM compatible, but you guys get the gist. So don't be afraid if you keep seeing this Bitcoin dominance going higher before it falls down. And as I said, we're going to expect it to be around that 40%. Nothing lower than that, really. And then, yeah, as you guys can see, Ethereum is not really holding up that great, especially if we go to the Ethereum ETH BTC ratio. You know what I mean? We need this to recover much, you know, in a better rate, because it seems like right now Bitcoin is recovering at a higher rate, a quicker rate than Ethereum. Absolutely fine, by the way. you know, next week we can absolutely probably expect things to go back on track, which they already are on. We already are on track with everything. These, you know, these sideways actions don't really mean anything when you're not really short-term price oriented. So think about it that way as well. And this is the crypto total crypto market cap. We're at 2.05 trillion. You know, using Fibonacci retracement, diminishing returns, etc. I'm expecting it to be around that 7 trillion in the realistic, and of course in the aspirational would be that 12 trillion market cap. This peak of the bull run, when will that happen? Again, as I said, I'm gonna assume probably around March next year, guys. Okay, beginning of March, all the way. It could be all the way till ending towards the end of 2025. I would say that's where, you know, it's the area that covers the peak. Okay, and it's gonna be extremely hard to time the peak, guys. Remember this, because everyone's gonna be euphoric, including you. It's very hard. Okay, where you think, okay, I don't want to try to mid curve it, etc. No, most of us will fall for this, where Bitcoin is going to be like 150k. We're all going to be like, oh my god, there's no way I'm selling. Bitcoin is going to head to 250,000, 500,000. We're only getting started. You know what I mean? Oh, but you know what I mean? We broke the bull cycle. You know what I mean? We're no longer going to be doing the whole pendulum swing, bear and bull cycle. No. Think straight. It's always going to be a bull and bear cycle. I'm going to make a separate video about this, and it's because it follows the global liquidity index. Okay, there will always be a bull and a bear cycle and its market. Okay, so yeah, keep that in mind. This is another great graph to look into. Okay, so yeah, aside from that, PulseX, really great, by the way. I expect it to definitely do from these prices, guys, a 50 to 100x. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've seen a few people ask me for predictions, guys. I can't really give you a definitive answer, but you know, 50 to 100x in terms of PulseX, very doable. Okay, so for example, with Pulse, before I show you guys, actually, if I go back to Pulse, with Pulse, at least I can tell you guys, if we go to DAI, let's say, or actually let's just go back here. Yeah, Pulse with DAI, I do have a prediction where it's around, you know, 20x from above sacrifice price. That gives us that 0.002. I think that's very realistic, but when you now anticipate it from today's price, it now will make it around that 50x. So do you see what I mean? Now I feel like at this point that we are in right now, because of super low depression type of prices, a 50x in the 4 altcoins, in the 4 richer hardcore tokens, are very realistic. And okay, I don't want to say realistic, this is not financial advice, I would say it's very doable. Okay, but at the end of the day as well, you want to be in Pulsechain, and you also want to see what are the leverages of the main 4 tokens. Okay, and then that's where you look into the 4 horsemen, the stuff that I talked about. I talk about a lot, and the different ecosystems within Pulsechain. Okay, and another quick thing, by the way, to look at is look at the ratio, the Pulse wrapped ETH ratio. So this is the wrapped ETH / Pulse. How can you check the ratio of Pulse? So you want to flip the chart. Just click in the top right corner and then do the invert pair. You do that, and then now it will actually show you how much is Pulse down compared to Ethereum. This is a really great indicator for you to see how much Pulse can recover really from these prices. Okay, with ratio with Ethereum, which is really beautiful. Always look into ratios between things and how they're related. You know what I mean? Because that's the one thing that we're gonna assume it doesn't change. Okay, the ratio between Pulse. The ratio between Ethereum and what's it called? Ethereum and Pulsechain. Okay, then you can see, okay, it can recover, etc. Look into the market caps and stuff like that. So again, I could make a whole separate video, but in terms of recovery to local all-time high, to recover back to Ethereum's price, the current price, is a 4x. Okay, or technically 5 if you add the actual investment. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Tons of room for growth. These are great prices for entry, great prices for telling people to know about Pulsechain, who, you know what I mean, who might think that they're late to the game. Absolutely no, you're not. Altcoin season have not happened. What we've seen here I mean, when we touched the altcoin season, this was just basically kind of like an outlier. Really, it doesn't really count as an altcoin season. It's just where, you know, things like Solana and stuff like that was doing really, really well. Okay, but then of course we came back on track. So yeah, don't get fooled by that. That was not the peak of the bull run. Okay, keep that in mind. So yeah, anyways, moving on to the four horsemen. By the way, PDAI is looking really great today, 11.99% up. Looking really great at, you know, it costs you $1,845 to own 1 million worth of PDAI. That's a potential $1 million, guys, if when PDAI goes to $1. Absolutely crazy. The narratives are crazy. I'm not going to explain the narrative. I think I've explained it enough, guys. But speaking of that, I just wanted to show you, you know, I have a few clips or a few pictures here to show you that Richard Hart, his favorite P stable is PDAI. There's a lot of clips of him where he talked about the whole concept of cloning a stable coin in a new network and then airdropping it, obviously, which could have some value, partial value, and of course getting that to appreciate, getting back, you know, to have a value, you know, from having no value when it launched, when Pulsechain launched, to having a value. And that's what he talked about. And then here, look, you can see 4 separate tweets where he talks about a coin, and he doesn't mention it, right? A coin that did 5,000x already. The only coin that did 5,000x that I know of in Pulsechain is literally PDAI, guys. It literally is PDAI. You can check it out from the bottom to kind of all-time high. I would say it is around 5,500x, whatever. So yeah, he mentioned it not just once, and here says at least one free ERC20 copy, coin up 5,000% already. One of the free coins did a 5,000x price this year. Okay, and this was April of this year, guys. April of this year, literally just around the corner of the Bitcoin halving. So you have your Ethereum, wondering what free coins you might have waiting for you. One of the free coins did a 5,000x, etc., etc. Speaking of Ethereum, by the way, we have here Vitalik. I just wanted to remind people that actually Vitalik, the literal founder of Ethereum himself, respects and likes Richard Hart. He made a list here, okay, that says, oh, still a main character or no longer a main character. Richard Hart's name right there with a tick. That's really great to be in the good books of Vitalik. You just never know. One day he might be like, shout out to Pulsechain, etc., etc. He wants to learn about it because, of course, at the end of the day, he does care about the layer 1s and layer 2s, etc. So yeah, that's really good. That's a good thing for you to know as well. Okay, that this tweet does exist. You can go check it out. Same thing with these tweets. Richard Hart has talked about PDAI indirectly. He just never named it. I think, of course, he doesn't want people to think that he's manipulating the price, and of course the implications behind the SEC case. We're super excited. Okay, and then now here, this is another reason for me why I sleep well at night, which is what I'm going to do actually after finishing the recording this video. Is that why Pulsechain is such a great place to be, because we have such a strong community in terms of dedication, guys. Even when the prices are so low in depression, low volumes in Pulsechain, you still have people who are daily uploading. Shout out to Somi, by the way, he's down right down there. Your friend Somi. And then, can you guys spot me? Look at me, I'm right there. That's crazy. But you have, you know, people who are daily streamers, daily uploaders and stuff like that. Shout out to Crypto Coffee. Shout out to Dr. Hexologist. A lot of those people, of course. Shout out to like B Roots and stuff like that, keeping it alive. So yeah, like this is why we love being in Pulsechain. We got like 180 total creators. Shout out to Corey Costa's channel as well. Really great stuff, honestly. So yeah, a lot of those people, guys, are actually my inspiration. So I'm really glad to be in Pulsechain. Pulsechain's greatest asset is actually the community. So yeah, it feels good, man. You know what I mean? But moving on, by the way, to PWBTC. Yeah, this is a very solid underspoken PRC20. Okay, this was at $93. Imagine taking Bitcoin back in time, where you can actually buy it before it's, you know, triple digits. Again, I can see this, breaking all-time high, which was previously, it doesn't really show it on this chart, but it was around $2,000. That would be absolutely amazing. But in terms of this bull run, I can definitely see it. I would say I could see it around that. I would say conservative would be around the $10,000 mark. Really, PWBC, I think it's going to shock a lot of people, including me. I don't want to wait until I buy. I want to buy and wait. So that's my strategy, really, guys. You know what I mean? And then you have ATROPA is doing really well today, up 11%. Speaking of ATROPA, we will speak about Teddy Bear as well. That's one of the two main ATROPA tokens. You got Teddy Bear, guys, up 9.31%, 10.7 million market cap. That's a literal 100x to 1 billion. Imagine how many x's it is to like stuff, to flip Shiba Inu, which reached 15 billion, guys. Okay, so it'll probably be double of this because I didn't update this really. It'll probably be 1,200x to reach 15 billion. Okay, absolutely crazy. So yeah, feels really good to be in Pulsechain, guys. The power of DCAing, the power of buying the dips, the power of holding really will play for the biggest winners, honestly, guys. It's as simple as that, really. None of that swing trading, none of that day trading stuff in crypto. Don't think it will really give you the gains that will be generational, the financial freedom, this thing that will actually make you retire or quit your 9 to 5, etc, etc. It really is the buy and holds. Okay, and I've been cooking a few things in the background, looking at like bots, creating bots and stuff like that. I'll have to keep you guys updated. That's just like kind of like my research and development projects in the background here and there, which is probably why I haven't been uploading on a daily as well, because I just want to have my videos where it's less in quantity maybe and more about the quality. But I'm also miss doing the daily uploads, so yeah, I might change that soon as well. You know what I mean? So moving on, by the way, when I spoke about ATROPA, I just want to update you guys with the latest thing that the ATROPA dev himself talked about. This was actually today, okay, or yesterday, I believe. Here he talks about, okay, let's look at, I might predict a 5 to 12x in the core P stable tied assets, followed by an inflow into non-P stable tied assets like BFF prior to price correction. My head on Richard Hart is that he is interested in going straight to $1. He's referring to the P stables like PDAI. Okay, and he said, I would not expect that in the next 9 months. He's being realistic, and he said my prediction is around the 20 cents mark. Absolutely crazy. So how far is it to reach the 20 cents mark? We can absolutely find that out right now. How many x's? And that is a 160x from price of, or is it actually not 160x anymore? If you bought it from the bottom, that's almost 200x, but from the price of today, it's 133x, and then within the next, within this, I'll say next 6 months. Very beautiful, very realistic, amazing stuff. And then he did say here, beyond 10 cent, I would expect we will see much more massive disparities between the 3P stables. And then you got PDAI 2 times greater or greater to P USDC. For example, the ball is in your fairway. Guys, if you did not know who is the ATROPA, he's first of all the creator of the Teddy Bear token, the ATROPA token, that are literally ecosystem, the #1 ecosystem in Pulsechain, by the way. Obviously, aside from the PRC20s, it stemmed to help PDAI reach the $1. That's the main motivation. Okay, who is 414 dev? He actually doxed himself. He used to be a benevolent anonymous developer. He doxed himself. His name is James Ellis Osborne. He's a 25-year scene veteran with ties to these artists, etc, etc. He's also worked for Microsoft, NASA, HP, Intel, TerraPower. Absolutely crazy. He also gave a speech, guys, which I'm going to leave the link in the description. We had a Pulsechain tour that unfortunately I missed. It was in Netherlands, and I think it was around, wasn't it the 14th of June? Absolutely crazy. I really wanted to be there, but unfortunately I couldn't make time for it. Really bummer, but because I wanted to meet a lot of you guys and stuff like that, but hopefully to the next opportunity. But yeah, you have this person. I would leave the talk that he talked about his ecosystem, his predictions and stuff like that. So if you're asking yourself what is that image that he has right there, I can absolutely help you. I got an image right here. Oh, quick thank you to my DeFi insiders, by the way, the people who are choosing to support my small channel. Really appreciate you guys, by the way. But that's the image that he has right here, where this is his updated targets for ATROPA is $7.5 this bull run, TSFI to $1,000, which I believe is around 1 billion in market cap. I got down is a really sick one, to $5. You got legal here as well to $100, which is absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's the image I showed you guys. You guys can take a screenshot and whatever. That's literally his whiteboard and he drew that. So yeah, anyways, going back to it, we wanted to move to PTGC. By the way, shout out to them, they're doing really great today, up to 7.2 a million market cap. And you know what's crazy is that I actually made this kind of indication back here when I said, oh, if we broke against this trend, this is all the way back from April. I said we're gonna predict it, that yellow line. I said we're gonna predict it where it's gonna fall to the previous support level. And that's crazy that it basically took 90 days, 3 months for it to actually reach the bounce where I talked about it, where it's gonna reach, and it did seem exactly a bounce. So this is actually crazy where the power of technical analysis really is is useful, right? You want to try to predict human behavior, which is obviously within itself is random, but you actually realize that sometimes when you denoise stuff and you look into stuff like using natural tools to measure natural behavior, such as Fibonacci retracements, etc., to identify potential resistance levels, support levels, etc., it actually does work. It's actually crazy. So yeah, anyways, you got PTGC, super crazy good ecosystem, by the way. Shout out to them, because I would say they're basically second best ecosystem after ATROPA ecosystem. You know what I mean? They've mastered the Hart's law, the tokenomics as well, by the way, how it burns the token, how it gives it rewards the the stakers, it rewards the stakers who have locked. You know what I mean? It thickens the liquidity, it burns itself. Oh, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. And they strategically as well, look at this, right? Liquidity here is $323,000. They've strategically as well created more liquidity, bonding with other tokens that have leverage, that will give it leverage as well, right? Because using Hart's law. So you have this ATROPA, you got PDAI, guys. This is amazing. Imagine if PDAI does the 100x. What do you think this liquidity will be worth? You know what I mean? And of course, the fact that you have multiple liquidity pairs, it's going to attract the arbitrage bots to do more activities within the token ecosystem. And guess what? Once they do their activities to make their small little 1 cent profit, they have to anticipate paying the buy and sell tax, right? So who's the ultimate winner? Is it really the arbitrage bot who just made the 1 cent? Or is it the holder and the staker and the whole ecosystem that's now getting their liquidity thicker as time goes on, and the staker who's getting more reflections? It's crazy. It's really crazy, actually, by the way. But next up, we're going to talk about PLUSD. Big shout out to PLUSD today. One of the biggest winners in Pulsechain, gaining 18.10% up, is looking really strong, creating its floor right here, confirming the floor. And a big shout out, because why? We have PulseX right over here, where the burn is 4.68, but when we look at PLUSD, it has successfully surpassed that, which is a huge milestone, and they've burnt now 5.7% of the supply. Yes, we're talking about PLUSD, the one that's been hyperinflated around that 16 trillion in supply. So slowly but surely, imagine the next milestone would be in the double digits, etc., etc. And of course, as prices get cheaper and cheaper, it's much easier to burn it up even more. So yeah, they're keeping it busy. They're doing their burn parties. I really like that. Shout out to the PLUSD community. I've always said this, where Richard Hart's chosen P stable to go to peg is PDAI, and then the community's chosen P stable to go to peg is PLUSD. So both of them are amazing. Obviously, one is higher risk, one is higher reward, etc., etc. You know what I mean? You want to risk manage, segment your risks, diversify. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I'm not a financial advisor. All right. So yeah, going back to it, really shout out to the Hex community as well. PHEX and EHEX, I am holding them. I am absolutely convicted to hold them, to find out. Really shout out to that as well. INC, again, we're looking at reaching $200, etc., etc. But guys, listen up. I think that is basically the end of the video. I took you guys over my latest and greatest thoughts with the 4 horsemen, and then some of the ecosystems I wanted to mention and shout out. So yeah, I really hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Today's a beautiful green day in Pulsechain, giving us a tease on what we could expect from Pulsechain to give us. Guys, this is the true leverage of Ethereum. I really also urge you guys to go follow me on my Twitter, because I've been making tweets, by the way. You can see here where I reported the latest tweets, and then as well here, etc, etc. So yeah, definitely go follow me on my Twitter and join my Telegram link in the description. Say hi, hello, let me know what you think of the video, and I'll catch you guys soon. I'm gonna go to sleep right now. I'm tired. All right, take care guys, good night.